8 reasons why Asians practice the dead hang every day, and why you should too. Let's be honest. Do you really believe that sitting for 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day has no consequences for your body? If you spend all day sitting at work, then in traffic, and at night on the couch with your phone in hand, and believe this is normal, you're fooling yourself. The problems may not appear now, especially if you're still young, but it's inevitable. They will come. The good news is that there is a solution. And better yet, it doesn't require expensive equipment, nor a gym, and will use only 5 minutes of your day. A technique that Asians have been practicing for generations, and the reason why you see hanging bars in public parks throughout Asia, with 60-year-old seniors hanging as if they were teenagers. So today you'll see 8 reasons why Asians practice this powerful exercise every day, and why you should start immediately. Reason number 8, spinal decompression. The dead hang is practically therapy for your spine. When hanging, your body creates a natural traction through the force of gravity. It's as if each vertebra in your spine could finally breathe. When we sit all day, gravity compresses our spine. Vertebra upon vertebra, disc upon disc, all pressed together. Over time, this constant compression reduces the space between vertebrae, pressures the intervertebral discs, and can cause hernias, protrusions, and other complications. That's why so many people suffer from back pain after their 30s. But have you noticed how older people in Asia have an impressive posture? This is no coincidence. In Asian culture, especially in countries like Japan and China, it's common to see people of all ages in parks practicing the dead hang. They understand that this simple exercise creates vital space between vertebrae. When hanging, your body naturally stretches, and gravity's traction pulls your vertebrae downward, creating small spaces between them. This decompression process allows the discs to absorb more fluids and nutrients, recovering their ability to cushion impacts. Think of it like a sponge. When compressed, it expels water. When released, it absorbs again. Your intervertebral discs work similarly. Studies show that just 30 seconds of dead hang can temporarily increase a person's height by a few millimeters, visual proof of the decompression that occurs. But the most important thing isn't gaining height, but relieving pressure on nerves and tissues, reducing inflammation and allowing better blood circulation in the region. In Japan, some say that hanging is giving new life to the spine. It's no coincidence that Japanese and Chinese elderly maintain impressive mobility even at an advanced age. Reason 7, improved circulation in the upper limbs. When you hang, something remarkable happens with the circulation in your arms and hands. In China, there is a traditional concept called qi, or vital energy, which flows through channels throughout the body. While this comes from traditional medicine, modern science confirms that the dead hang really does improve blood flow to areas that often suffer from poor circulation due to our sedentary lifestyle. When hanging, you partially reverse the effect of gravity on your arms. Blood that normally accumulates in the extremities needs to work against gravity to return to the heart. This creates a circulatory washing effect, where new nutrients and oxygen are forced to circulate through the muscles, tendons, and ligaments of the upper limbs. This increased blood circulation not only brings more oxygen and nutrients to the tissues, but also helps remove metabolic waste and inflammatory substances that can accumulate after long hours of repetitive work, such as typing or using a cell phone. This circulatory improvement can also help prevent conditions like carpal tunnel syndrome, so common in people who work long hours on computers. The pressure of body weight during the dead hang helps squeeze out stagnant blood and promotes the formation of new capillaries over time, permanently improving blood irrigation in the upper limbs. Reason 6, improved resistance to discomfort. There is a concept in Zen philosophy called shugyo, training through voluntary discomfort to strengthen the spirit. Buddhist monks have for centuries practiced suspension exercises similar to the dead hang not only for the physical benefits, but for the mental training they provide. Let's be honest, hanging for 30 seconds, 1 minute or more is not comfortable. There's a burning in the muscles, increasing tension, a desire to let go. And it's exactly this controlled discomfort that makes the dead hang such a powerful tool for developing mental endurance. In Korea, there is a concept called yongshin, which refers to willpower and mental resistance. Martial arts practitioners value the dead hang as a way to cultivate this quality. By remaining suspended even when discomfort increases, you train your brain to tolerate unpleasant sensations without panicking or giving up. Neuroscientists have discovered that regularly practicing activities that involve controlled discomfort literally alters pain processing in the brain. The neural pathways that interpret signals of effort and fatigue become less sensitive, allowing you to endure more discomfort not only during exercise, but in all areas of life. The most interesting thing is that this resistance to discomfort is not limited to just physical pain. Recent research in psychology shows that people who regularly practice exercises that involve a certain degree of controlled discomfort tend to demonstrate greater emotional resilience and ability to delay gratification. Chinese elite athletes incorporate the dead hang into their mental preparation, even when the exercise is not directly related to their sport. They understand that the ability to endure voluntary discomfort transfers to the ability to persist in challenging situations during competitions. Reason 5. Strengthening grip and improving forearm endurance. In Asian culture, there is a deep respect for functional strength, one that serves a practical purpose in daily life, and few skills are as functional as a strong grip. From opening jars to carrying grocery bags, the strength of hands and forearms directly affects our independence in daily life. And as you might already imagine, modern life offers very few opportunities to develop this strength. We touch screens, type on keyboards, but rarely pick up something truly heavy or hang on to something. The dead hang is probably the most efficient exercise to develop grip. When you hang, all the finger flexor muscles are activated simultaneously under maximum load, your own body weight. The forearm muscles, which control finger movements, are strengthened isometrically. One aspect of strengthening through the dead hang is that it works both the muscles and the tendons and ligaments. The tendons of the finger flexors adapt to the constant load, becoming more resistant to injuries. Finger joints, often affected by arthritis in old age, maintain better mobility and function. What makes the dead hang especially effective for grip development is the nature of the stimulus. Unlike squeezing a rubber ball, which many use to train their hands, the dead hang involves all the forearm muscles in real functional coordination under significant load. In Korea, for example, martial arts practitioners traditionally use the dead hang to develop gyoki, a term that refers specifically to gripping strength. They know that a strong grip is fundamental not only for combat, but for longevity and independence. Number 4. Can help relieve pain from nerve compression in some cases. When nerves are compressed, whether in the spine or at other anatomical narrowing points, the result is pain, tingling, weakness, and other unpleasant symptoms. Conditions like sciatica, cervical radiculopathy, or even peripheral neuropathies can be exacerbated by modern posture and sedentary lifestyle. When you hang, there is a natural decompression of the nerve roots that exit the spine. The small foramina between vertebrae through which nerves pass expands slightly. This small increase in space may be enough to relieve pressure on an irritated nerve. Another fascinating aspect is how the dead hang can help with the hydration of intervertebral discs. These discs, which function as cushions between vertebrae, tend to lose water throughout the day due to constant compression. The gentle traction during the dead hang allows them to absorb more fluid, increasing their volume and, consequently, creating more space for adjacent nerve roots. It's important to note that the dead hang is not a miraculous cure for all nervous conditions, and severe cases should be evaluated by professionals. However, as a preventive and complementary practice, its value is invaluable. Before we continue to reason number 4, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to correct and science-based information is what will make you progress with long-term health in the world of bodybuilding. Number 3. Postural rebalancing and stretching of the anterior chain. When we spend hours sitting, our anterior chain, the muscles in the front of the body, dramatically shortens. Pectorals, hip flexors, abdominals, and neck flexors become chronically contracted. At the same time, the back muscles become elongated and weakened. This imbalance creates what physical therapists call anterior crossed syndrome, a posture characterized by shoulders hunched forward, head protruding, and tilted pelvis. The dead hang directly attacks this problem through a simple but powerful mechanism. When hanging, you create a natural traction that stretches the entire anterior chain of the body. The pectorals, which normally pull your shoulders forward when shortened, are gently stretched. The hip flexors, chronically contracted from long hours of sitting, also receive a passive stretch due to the weight of the legs. In Thailand, it's common to see office workers going to parks during lunch to practice a few minutes of dead hang. They report feeling taller and lighter after practice, sensations that reflect the temporary postural rebalancing that occurs. With regular practice, this temporary effect begins to become permanent. The body learns the new balanced posture and begins to maintain it even when you're not hanging. The posterior muscles, previously overloaded by constant compensation, can now work more efficiently. In cities like Hong Kong, where sedentary lifestyle is a growing problem due to long working hours, it's common to find exercise equipment in public parks. Among them, horizontal bars that allow the practice of the dead hang. Number 2, improved shoulder health and increased scapular mobility. Our shoulders are the most mobile joints in the human body, capable of moving in virtually all directions. It is consensus among doctors that shoulder health directly affects our quality of life and longevity. But this mobility comes at a price. They are also the joints most prone to injuries and dysfunctions. With the modern lifestyle, we spend hours with our shoulders rolled forward. This prolonged position shortens specific muscles and weakens others, creating an imbalance that can lead to chronic pain and injuries. The dead hang works directly on this issue. When you hang with extended arms, your shoulders are naturally pulled into a neutral and anatomical position. The scapulae are stimulated to move freely, something that rarely happens in daily life. In South Korea, physical therapists routinely incorporate the dead hang into rehabilitation protocols for patients with shoulder problems. They observed that this practice helps restore the scapulohumeral rhythm, the coordinated movement between the scapula and humerus that is essential for healthy arm movements. During the dead hang, all muscles that stabilize the scapula are activated. The lower trapezius, serratus anterior, and rhomboids, muscles that tend to weaken with sitting time, are passively strengthened. At the same time, muscles that tend to become tense and shortened, such as the pectoralis minor, are stretched. Over time, this regular practice restores muscle balance around the scapular belt. The shoulders return to their natural position, reducing the risk of impingement syndrome, tendinitis, and bursitis. The joint capsule, the tissue envelope that surrounds the joint, also benefits from gentle stretching, preventing stiffness and loss of mobility. Number 1, reduction of neck pain. When we look at our phones, drive, or work on the computer, our head, which weighs about 11 pounds, tilts forward. For each inch that the head advances, the pressure on the cervical spine increases significantly. After hours in this position, the neck muscles become overloaded, the cervical vertebrae compressed, and tension accumulates. The dead hang offers a perfect counterpoint to this problem. When you hang, the weight of the body creates a natural traction that decompresses the cervical vertebrae. The neck muscles, which are constantly contracted to support the head, can finally relax completely. In Japan, shiatsu specialists, a form of manual therapy, recommend the dead hang as a complementary practice for patients with chronic cervical pain. They observed that the combination of traction and muscle relaxation provides relief that lasts much longer than simply massaging the affected area. A fascinating aspect is how the dead hang affects the small, deep muscles of the neck. These muscles, responsible for fine stabilization of the cervical vertebrae, rarely receive adequate stimulation in modern life. During the dead hang, they are gently stimulated to work in a coordinated way to maintain the neutral position of the head. In Singapore, where smartphone use is one of the highest in the world, physical therapists have noticed an epidemic of what they've named text neck, a painful condition caused by constantly looking down. They now routinely recommend exercises like the dead hang as part of treatment, noting significant improvements in cervical mobility and pain reduction. It's important to remember that, when practicing the dead hang, your head should be in a neutral position, neither drooping forward nor forcing backward. It's in this neutral position that the greatest benefits for the cervical region are achieved. Now that you know all the benefits of this wonderful exercise, let's get to the execution details that make all the difference. First, find a stable horizontal bar that supports your weight. It can be a door bar, a bar in a park, or even a sturdy tree branch. The height should allow you to keep your feet off the ground when your arms are extended. Grab the bar with your palms facing forward and fingers completely wrapping around the bar. Hand spacing should be approximately shoulder width or slightly wider. Many people make the mistake of using a grip that's too narrow or too wide, which can unnecessarily overload the shoulders. When hanging, keep your shoulders active. Don't let them rise to your ears or completely collapse. There should be a slight muscle activation to stabilize the joint, but without excessive tension. Imagine trying to gently bring the shoulder blades closer together and downward. Breathing is fundamental. Keep it constant and deep. Many beginners hold their breath during the dead hang, which limits the benefits and can even cause dizziness. Breathe naturally through your nose, filling your abdomen before your chest. For beginners, 20 to 30 seconds already bring benefits. Over time, gradually increase to 1 to 2 minutes per set, and try to hang for 5 minutes adding all sets. Don't force beyond what your body allows. Remember that this is an exercise of patience and consistency, not heroism. Asians practice the dead hang as part of their daily routine, usually early in the morning or after long periods of sitting. You can incorporate it as a postural reset throughout the day. Just 30 seconds of dead hang every 2 hours of sitting work can already do wonders for your spine and shoulders. And if besides the dead hang you want to know another isometric exercise widely used by Asians to strengthen the lower body, we leave a video appearing right now on the screen where we explain what this powerful movement is. Remember, death starts from the legs, so don't forget to check it out. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.